Hello and welcome everyone to another podcast of The Third Eye. Of course, we are here with another personality.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
from the third, I would like to thank everyone for actually giving us a very another positive feedback on the previous episodes.
of
And
course, we
yes, of
always
course, we
appreciate that.
that'll always be like our top thing. Like if anyone has questions, we would like to learn some more and also give our own opinions on them. So, well, what are we doing today actually?
So, we're gonna touch a topic. Is a little cliche, might I add, because it is technology. However, there are aspects to it that have not been discussed in a different vantage point, I should say. Now, of course, when we look at technology, we're looking through the aspects of economy, we're looking at it through the perspectives of eschatology, or we might be looking at it through the perspective of what it is or what it can be, technology in itself, if it's good, if it's bad.
Well, like to be honest, like everyone's saying the pros and cons of technology. Of course, there are like certain points of actually where we consider it as hazardous to our existence. But at the same time, the more I would actually root for the side of it is that keep on technology like keep on advancing, because the thing is like of course we don't know where we're gonna stop, but automation, AI, everything is like so common nowadays, which if I were to tell you this would have happened, and like let's just say around like in the late 90s, during the Y2K,
Yeah.
let's say at that time I would have told you like, hey, like AI, drones, these things are gonna be very common, and they'll be like in this small glass telephone in our pockets, right? Like you're
Who
using
would
that.
have thought?
Yeah, who'd have thought? But like you're gonna tell me like, dude, were you crazy? Like, holy shit! Like it's something out of a sci-fi film. But here we are.
That is indeed right. And to top it off, the pace that it's moving at, the pace of advancement. Like an example, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but man took its first flight by Wright brothers in 1903, if I'm not mistaken. And man was on the moon in 1969, 67. So that's roughly 65 to 67 years, roughly. So just to think that man just took its first flight, and right after that, in 69, they flew away with the advancement they had in that particular science.
Like as I say, like at that point, one small step for man. I think that was
Giant leap for mankind.
mankind. Like it's something really amazing about like how we advance and evolve as humans. That
Of course, if some, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no, it's okay.
many might believe, because we have different viewers, and we should respect everyone's thought of view. That some may say, okay, they never really landed on the moon, but that's considering a different topic.
That's something else.
That's yeah. So we're considering that they did land on the moon, and if that's the case, then yeah, that's the case.
So yeah, where was I? Yeah. So as we're evolving, right? Each what do you call it, the leap of faith do we take to our next era of advancement? We always like seem to advance in that specific task, that objective, faster than the previous one, right? It's like from the industrial revolution,
Yeah.
we led to another, to another, to another, and then kept on going. And when technology came to be, technology always existed, sorry, that whatever. So it's like around 1930s, 1960s, it always existed, right? It's called technology.
Yeah.
The whole term is that it's all connected and it's wired,
Yeah.
right? But the real advancement, sorry, what did you say?
No, I was just contemplating what you were saying. Yeah.
So the point from where technology started to advance is when it was given an easy access to the public. Like for example, the internet. You think like, okay, like I can say, oh, early 2000s we all had the internet. In the late 90s we had the internet. The internet came to you, but who did it belong to before?
U.S. Army.
The U.S. Army. Likewise with the dark web,
Yep. Exactly.
and for which you have to use the Tor browser.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not
The
gonna
Onion
like.
router.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
And you know why it's called Onion browser, by the way?
Onion router.
Onion router, but
Yeah.
Onion browser. Why is it called that?
The Onion. It's got these layers.
Yeah,
Right?
every layer of the transfer protocol it goes through, that's how it's called to the center
Yeah.
of the Onion router. So yeah,
But then that's why it's so secure.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's you're going through proxy to proxy. It's different from VPN.
Yeah.
People think like VPN keeps you secure. It does not.
Yeah.
Because from VPN you're going through one IP of any designated place you're actually hoping for, but in proxies you do the same but through IPs to IPs to IPs to IPs. So it's more secure to trace you back. That's why they also have Bitcoin and stuff. But something that
Yeah.
we'll get to it later.
It's like when we're looking at the technology that we are headed towards, and you're saying like they had these things in the 80s, but it just came late to us, to general population. But like we go further back, and how do we reach to this point of like as you said earlier, the Industrial Revolution, right? That was one important event in mankind's history that took place. The invention of a steam engine.
Steam engine, like everything was relied on heat energy.
And there's some very key individuals who came in between these scientists, Tesla being one, Thomas Edison, and like the invention of electricity in itself. Like I wouldn't say invention, my bad. I'd say discovery.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
the invention of electricity, again I'm saying that it's the discovery of electricity that we have observed has given us powers which are crazy. We have utilized it in such an interesting way that it has been the most dominating factor in changing our lifestyles. You cannot imagine your life without having electricity around, or having something that does not have electricity running through it.
And of course, shortly about it, we were taught in history classes that, also likewise in physics, that Thomas Edison was the guy behind it, but it was actually Tesla.
Yep,
it was
exactly,
Tesla.
yeah.
And there was a funny thing I would like to add. That do you know why Thomas Edison, he didn't prefer the idea of Tesla? Because Tesla guaranteed him that my method, because it was from the AC to DC current,
Exactly,
DC
yeah.
to AC current. So he said, I can provide the world unlimited energy
Yes.
for centuries.
Tesla, that's what he said.
And Edison, he was like, nah, keep it DC.
Yeah.
And that also has to do with money.
But that's one of the key reasons why Tesla was assassinated, because he figured out a way of harnessing energy, which is very interesting because the pyramids, the way they've made it, what sits at the very top, right,
Yeah.
of the pyramid?
Yeah.
It's gold, entire gold, which is a superconductor. And you go down below in the pyramid and you find anode and cathode rods. So there's definitely some way of these pyramids harnessing energy out of thin air. And so did Tesla understand that. And I believe it's called I can't remember the name of the layer through which he would harness energy. But I think it starts with an E. Yeah, I don't want to get too speculative of the term that it has, but it is harnessing free energy. And interesting that he also said that if you understand the numbers 3, 6, and 9, that you've unlocked the key to the universe.
And also, first part, nowadays he is the Tesla Motors, Elon Musk, and his name is now today being honored because he had the potential, he had the idea, the Pandora's box of achieving unlimited energy.
Yeah.
And we kind of realized, it was all like a money scam. The reason his inventions didn't come up front. But like to add on it, just like that, things have gotten very faster and faster at each part. Like for example, when did the first man fly? Not to the moon.
The
Wright
brothers. Yeah.
The Wright brothers, right?
Yeah.
And
1903.
right after that, in that 100-year span time, we had commercial airlines with full catering service and everything.
Yeah.
Just like that. in less than 100 years we had like, and after that when early 2000s began, the whole world became wired. It's like, you know, when there
Globalization took place.
globalization, and you know when you watch the movie The Matrix, of course I'm sure everyone has watched it. So since that movie kind of gives
If
you an
you're
idea.
if you haven't, I am so sad for you. You gotta be the most upsetting person ever. If you haven't seen The Matrix, just adding that.
Yeah, like were you living under a rock since the beginning of time?
And if you haven't, please, I highly recommend to watch it. Carry on.
it has Keanu in it, so you know.
There's a reason to. Okay.
Okay, so it's technological advancements started to take place, right? And do you know, like, in 1993, do you remember what game was that? Doom. Do you remember? Like, it was like a 3-dimensional
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
So when you're playing that game, I forgot which part, but then the game stops. Bill Gates just comes. It's like a green screen kind of
Okay.
thing. He just comes over there with a shotgun, and he's wearing his bathrobe.
Right.
And he's just sitting there. He's like, "Hey guys, it's nice meeting you. I hope you all enjoyed this and blah blah blah." And he said, "See, this is how real things can get in the future. This is the future of gaming and technology." 1993, early 2000s, we had palm tops, like small, like communicators,
Yeah.
cell phones, console gaming, PC gaming, hacking on
Yeah.
one end started to evolve on its own.
Yeah.
Because, of course,
And we're getting very close to opening the Pandora's box of AI.
we are going to achieve 100% intelligent life in AI. Here's why. Here's my argument.
Do you think that is going to be through the language used as ones and zeros, or do you think it is going to be through quantum computing? Thinking that, you know, as
Quantum
well,
computing is also zeros and ones.
yes, but one can be a zero and a zero
the same
can be a
time,
one at the same
simultaneously.
time. So
Okay.
it processes way faster. Now the question that I'm asking you, if you're aware of it, because you know there's only much that I would know about IT, okay, and I've seen some things about quantum computing, but them that being, you know, completely different from what we use, would it be considered be used to build an AI, or is it going to be used just for like industrial purposes?
Okay. So here's the thing. When I say the word AI, artificial intelligence, what's the first thing that pops in your head?
Conscience.
Conscience, okay. Now, in modern day, the same way we're told about like the same concept that, you know, we have found alien life on another planet. People think like, holy shit. You know, it's just like, you know, Mars Attack,
Yep.
the Arrival, or some like all those kind of movies. And the thing is that we all have misconceptions about this. When someone thinks about AI, you automatically think like, you know, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It's like, come with me if you want to leave.
Yeah.
It's just like that guy, like, you know, AI. And after that, we had iRobot, Ex Machina.
Of course, movies. You do
Movies
influence
and
what we- yeah,
influence
of
pop
course,
culture,
of
right?
course, of course.
And that's how it's embedded in our head. Of course, that kind of sentience
Mm-hmm.
will be achieved. That there's a reason, like that's something so interesting that we're creating life ourselves. We're trying to play God,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna try to achieve it. But before that, what is AI? We can say Cortana in your computer, Siri, that's
Yep,
AI.
yep.
YouTube, when you write a search, autofill, that's
Yes,
AI.
yep,
Artificial
yep.
intelligence, it knows what you're gonna write next.
Yep.
And
Machine learning.
machine learning,
It's there right now.
it's obviously there.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, now here's the thing. I've had arguments, like I have some like professors who agree on this, some they're like, no, it can't be. It's like a 50-50. It's like,
Okay.
this is what I suggested. Humans, when we make a decision, it goes like yes, maybe, no. The maybe part splits into more yes and no, and each in like it just keeps on branching out. It's like a parsing tree, okay? And now there's one side that says that you need quantum computers, and there are very limited amount of it right now to achieve that, because a computer will go yes no prompt, yes no, remind me later, which is basically a no. Now algorithmically, if you were to give a computer that kind of power, that yes no maybe, and it branches fast, which has already been achieved, but the speed is so much, because here's the thing, our brains, like, of course, this bullshit of IQ. By the way, I have 200 IQ. I watch Rick and Morty. Just saying. Just saying.
You gotta have some if you want to watch that show. Definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty break. So yeah, and when you actually achieve that power, right? You're giving so much potential and so much calculative power to a machine that everyday life that we're living is based on math. It's an algorithm. You wake up, brush your teeth, go out. Unlike in a pandemic, if you want to go to the store, you just gotta keep this new thing in your algorithm that we humans have actually adapted.
Yep.
Like, wake up, take a shower, brush your teeth, have breakfast, wear a mask. That's a new itinerary, machine
Yeah.
learning. Now it's for us evolving. We call it evolving in our own terms. For machines, it's called machine learning. Till the point the machines will actually achieve this. It is being tried on. They're succeeding in it. Some places they're not because it needs too much power. But I believe that they have actually achieved that to the full potential because there's this thing I would like to tell you. Now, as a human, for the Earth's survival, what are you gonna do? Now, your argument is not based on logic; it's based on emotions and opportunity.
Can you give me the image again of what exactly
Okay,
on Earth?
if I tell you that the world's ending soon,
Yeah,
global
okay.
warming,
Okay.
not climate change. Fuck
Okay.
that wording.
Okay.
It's global warming.
Okay.
Okay, it's global warming. Fuck that. That's word engineering. You're just convincing me. You're just saying fuck you in a much nicer way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now you're gonna think that okay, I need to decrease carbon emission. I need to do that. Go green,
Yeah.
right? But we're still gonna keep on cutting forests and everything like that, right? We're still gonna like bring some harm to the planet, you know. Now AI on logic, it's gonna think like this for the planet. To evolve for us, we need to multiply, right? Just like humans. Machines also machine learning. It has the concept of multiplying. The same with your phones.
Would
You
it?
could-
That's the question.
It is. It is.
Would it have the incentive of survival?
Its incentive of survival is what do you call? It's energy, electricity, power. It can achieve that from either way. Solar powered AI. Sun is gonna die after like that long. It's not gonna die out. The moment it learns to be sentient, till that point, which I don't know if they have achieved it or not. Whatever, that's something different.
What we are, well, like not something we're aware of yet, but it could be
It could be, and
multi purposes and all that.
because in our day-to-day basis, every day we're just surrounded by
Yep.
AI and technology. Where there's technology, there's AI. Definitely, technology is not a standalone word.
Yeah.
So now, as a machine, the machine is gonna think like this on logic. We just have to get rid of humans.
Yeah.
That's it. Unlimited energy. We have like the planet is happy. Just remove humans, their bacteria. And if this was actually given by an AI system, that just remove all humans, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And the scientists, they were just like, okay, like what?
Yeah.
Which like was based on logic. It's gonna use all those mathematical capabilities, all those like every single capacity of knowledge it has to
Right.
come to a conclusion that okay, if we, the machines, are gonna be here and keep a good environment and maintenance, remove all humans because they can also maintain
Or
themselves.
perhaps remove greed, because okay, here's the thing. So far, what we've been looking at, is an aspect through technology of what it is, right? Like, this is what technology is. This is what it's advancing to. But then the biggest question of all that comes, is how this system, of advancement is so entangled with economy. How is it that we're achieving all these things with just the resources we have? Because we're not supposed to.
Debt.
That's the one.
Debt. Oh shit. Hey, you told me about that. And because of debt, that's all possible.
So, like, we're achieving why haven't we ever been able to achieve it before? Why do you think that is it now? What makes it now happen for this very moment and not in past?
Okay. What past, like, you're talking about 20 years ago or like 30, 40?
I'm talking about, let's say, okay, fair enough, the emergence of industrial revolution.
Okay.
Why did industrial revolution not begin earlier?
Limitations. there's always like, of course, the thing is that we're humans, we're still discovering. So it came one of an idea, it became a part of like part of the problem, a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
Capitalizing and also balancing it out.
Capitalism again, one of
Yeah.
them being a big part of it, true.
Of course, because where there's money, there's honey. That's how it goes. Now, at the same time, if you were to think of it like why didn't it happen before, limitations of tools, ideas, motive, concept, these things didn't exist. As time by time, we're like learning new things, we're trying. And by the way, since the advancement of technology, we're able to make more newer discoveries of new shit that could have taken 100 to 200 years in the past because of technology. We're just fucking just racing towards the end. We're just going new small things like okay, a vape pen.
Okay.
A vape pen. When did they come in the market? Not too long ago.
I'd say about 12 years ago.
12 years ago. Okay. What's the concept of it? It's shisha. It's portable shisha.
Yeah.
Right? Shisha existed for how long? Thousands of years.
Uh-huh.
Right? Now it evolved into, for today, we have cigarettes, we have this, that, we have the kush, we have
Everything.
a vape. Yeah, everything related to smoking.
Yeah.
Now, how did we go from cigarettes, from like the time in past when cigarette commercials existed? Do you know
Yeah,
that?
Of course.
They existed.
And they were considered something good to calm yourself down.
Yeah, it was kind of like a sedative.
Yep.
And now, how long from that point to this point we reached that this portable thing, which you fill it with flavor, you just smoke a huge amount of heat, like smoke from it, more than a what do you call, an industrial size, like a fucking chimney. That's how you're doing it, because the conventional shisha has just transformed into a vape.
Yeah.
That was too fast
But
to happen.
though I wouldn't compare the two.
Okay.
The only reason of comparison would be like this, coming to the topic of smoking, but like the reason of comparison would be the amount of shit that comes out of your mouth when you blow it out, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason of comparison. But the
But just see the ease of it.
no, but what I mean to say is that the molecules themselves aren't smoke. They're not ash. They're water vapors.
Yeah.
Like H2O. So that in a way it makes it different from smoking. That's why they never say it's smoking, because they say vaping.
You have a jewel. You have a jewel. You have a
Yes,
jewel.
Indeed. It's smoke actually. But yeah.
It's a jewel. This is like one of those memes, like Mom took my jewel from me. It's like what? Here's the thing. Why do you want to smoke a jewel? Go to the like in the recess. Go to the bathroom. Take one fucking like Marlboro out and smoke that shit like a man. Smoke that shit.
So
Or just get a doobie.
So like it's earlier when you're talking about if you see the economics related to the advancement of technology, you just said debt, right? So you see over time that debt is increasing, and so is technology in its exponential manner.
Yeah.
And the cycle, you feel like it's like a loop. You print more money essentially, or just increase or inflation basically occurs in your economy, and that sort of is a engine and resource for pushing technology further ahead. Technology goes further ahead. What does it do? It creates more jobs. It creates like it's a big industry, technology in itself.
Of course.
So, and that vice versa, sort of both how would I say, acknowledging each other.
Hello, tech support.
Hello, tech support.
Tech support. Yeah, that's like some of the time. Like I get any. You like introduced me to this. You told like everyone, like I'm just like computer engineer. Everyone's like, are you tech support? I'm like, why not? Why not? It's fun.
Not everyone understands IT.
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's fun. It's fucking fun.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So the part of technology, right?
So like earlier in the very beginning, I felt of segmenting this technology into these various parts. One being what technology in itself is. Second being how it's in relevance with our economy, and third being how is it in relevance with, eschatology. How does that play out in what, like, again, not a coincidence being that we got industrial revolution when Britain Empire was the at its best. So I don't think. Do you feel there's a coincidence in this?
Britain, Britain is that cool kid, that rich kid who has all the good shit, but he steals it actually from his other classmates. But yeah, but like the thing is, like like here's the thing, anything that happens that changes like sets that shifts the polarity of an event, a major event. New inventions come out during war.
Yeah.
What came out then? Technology.
Yeah.
And by the way, in this island near, I think, like the Bahamas or something, or the Caspian border, I forgot, they found this 200-year-old relic that was
Right.
like a computer.
Wow.
Yeah, not like
I think
it was
I
not
remember
like a
seeing-
computer,
No,
but like
it's like a calculator type.
calculator
thing. Yes,
type,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like it's mechanical but electronic.
Yeah,
And they're just like, what kind of civilization actually had that?
Yeah.
Where are they now? Wiped off. How? Isn't it amazing?
yeah. Enigma machine. It was
Alan Turing.
Alan Turing.
Alan Turing.
Like that essentially is a computer.
And also for AI, there's when you actually when it goes into a phase of machine learning, it's called Turing test. It's called a Turing test.
Turing test.
Yeah. Also, I would like to add, Alan Turing was also gay.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
do
he
know
was
that,
gay.
yeah.
Interesting.
So earlier when we were talking about how these timings seem very
Prophetic.
that's true, but
Prophesized.
not really. What's that word? Let's just say not coincidental, but more comfortable, convenient.
Convenient.
Yes.
Reliable.
The timings of this technology coming out at this very moment in time seems very convenient for certain tasks to be accomplished. And when we talk about technology nowadays, most of the people, they go like, what comes to their head straight up is social media, right? The way of connecting people instantaneously. Now, that's what many of them would think of when they say, what do you think about technology? Okay, let's say Facebook, social media, whatever it is. So this instantaneous communication that we have today, and FYI, there is an interesting hadith that our Prophet, peace be upon him, had said, and it had to do with how the time in future is going to become faster and faster. Right?
Yes.
Now, you be in a city, okay? You just go to a metropolitan city, okay? And you'd feel like days just pass by like there's no tomorrow. And the hadith actually went like, the months are going to be like weeks, the weeks are going to be like days, days like an hour like
Minutes.
Lighting a candle.
Lighting a candle. Oh.
And so if you're in a metropolitan city, you go to you do your job, you pay your taxes, you do your shit.
Taxes is a trigger word for you. It's a trigger word. I'm just like, taxes. Like, what?
And you do your normal matrix shit. All right, you do your thing.
I'm
Right?
thinking like, if you ever go on a date just from far, I'm just gonna be like the sleeper agent. I'm just gonna say, taxes!
Taxes.
And you just start losing her shit in front of your date. She's just like, are you okay? She's like, taxes! You don't know what's going on.
Oh my god. So you say you do your things, right? And just days go by. Now, the next day I take you off and I put you in a village. Okay. You have nothing around you. You have no mobile phone. You have nothing. Okay. And let's see how long that day is gonna last.
Milk the cow,
Right.
churn the butter.
Do something. Right?
Something, because it's requiring us not to be
Man,
lazy.
so
it's requiring us not to be lazy.
So man, here's the thing. There's something that comes with technology. It's like there's no getting away from it, and that is time will seem to go faster. It's just you're on your phone, you're going through Instagram, shit, 2 hours pass by, you never realize.
here's something interesting. Um, okay, let's say you're in the year right now in 2005,
Yeah.
and if I said, dude, 10 years ago, you would have said 95, right? 95, and you would have thought like, holy shit, 10 years ago was in the 90s, before like the millennial change,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And right now, if I say, dude, 10 years ago, you're like, 10 years ago doesn't seem that far.
Yeah. True.
Like, there's some movies, like, we're watching it, if a movie says, like, 2009, 2010, it's like 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. I would see it like, I'm cool with it. Like, okay, the movie still has relevance, it's not
Yeah.
too old. But if you were in year 2005 and I would have said, you want to watch this movie from The Heat of Robert De Niro, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
That movie, it came out in 95. You would have thought, like, a 90s film? Holy shit, must have been old.
Yeah.
Because technology took over every aspect of our lives so rapidly that 10 years ago, the technology we had is the
Yeah.
same technology we have now. Not, I'm saying the same, it has advanced immensely. Okay? But the thing is that
Absolutely.
technology is advanced, but the concept that was back then is still now the thing that's keeping us most busy, which has become a part of our limb.
Dude, it
Our
is a
brain.
fucking. It's part of our body. Like
We had glass telephones then, we have now advanced, but the timeline of us staying wired has made things so fast that even 10 years ago, your thought process is psychologically, you're not going to think of it as too far. Even think about it. YouTube, then came Vine, then blah blah blah, and today TikTok. Before TikTok was Musically. Now these video platforms, they came in a long span of time, but it doesn't seem that late.
See, if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is look at your phone, then it is a very strong part of you.
It is.
Let's say some old timer, a boomer, has a clock, one of those tiny clocks next to his bed.
You're a boomer also.
I mean, I don't consider myself a boomer, but sometimes I do feel like one, because I am not so much for technology. Like I
Here's the thing.
appreciate
If
what it is.
right now if I take my phone and I start opening, I have this sensation that you're just looking at me thinking like, you goddamn kids with your phones and your Facebook and your hip dubstep music. Even though, for the record, we both are not like that like, he's not that much of a boomer. We both are like 4 years difference.
Yeah, 4 years apart.
4 years apart.
But no, no, not a boomer. I wouldn't say so. However,
That's what a boomer would say.
I despise getting too addicted to technology. But some parts of it, see, it's a forbidden fruit.
Yes.
Okay,
The apple
you
of
take
Eden.
it, right? You know it's bad, but it feels good.
It's a drug.
You can't exactly. And there was I can't remember of that gamer YouTuber, who, anyways, the topic that he was talking about of how we get these dopamine rush from playing video games, and which is essentially the same thing you would get if you were on cocaine or crystal meth. It's the same thing. It's higher levels of dopamine. Now, if someone gets a nuke in Call of Duty. Now, a nuke
A Moab.
is considered something really impactful, a very strong thing if you do manage to get it, and it's not every day that you might. Now,
To all those people who are listening right now, if you guys are like COD players, high five, bros.
yes, indeed.
I've said bros, like, although I could have said sis.
yeah. We don't no. I mean, no gender,
No gender.
equality in who plays games.
Them and it's also.
But yes. So if you do get that, you get this sort of adrenaline rush throughout your body, and that is very addictive. That's why people like to drive fast. But then that's an entirely different, dangerous game, right?
It is.
It still is a rush that you get out of something. So you're synthetically, while playing games, inducing this rush, becoming more addictive to it. You play this, and a day will pass by, and you were in a game you never realized, holy shit, it's sundown. and then a moments later, holy shit, there are birds singing outside.
But you also know, like, I would like to add these things, like, people, when something new comes, like when technology came, like cell phones and these things, they were like, oh, don't put your phone in your pocket, your heart's gonna stop the radiation, blah, blah, blah. Microwaving,
Yeah.
like, microwave, like these ovens, their radiation is dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Let me just correct these things first, because people, sometimes, like, it's good to, like, assume, conspire, think, take an analysis.
Analyze, yeah.
But certain things are downright dumb.
Yeah.
Like the internet. Of
Yeah.
course, there are the plethora of information you get. You can get wrong information, and some
Yeah.
people, like I was talking earlier in like today, that chainmail, deceiving
Yeah.
people. That's what you can do in the internet. Like there's like good information, bad information, deceiving the truth, like that. So now the reason you cannot get like harmful radiation from a phone when you put it in your pocket or underneath your pillow. Okay, underneath your pillow, the reason it's risky is that
Long
okay.
term?
No, here's the thing. I kept my BlackBerry phone under my pillow when I used to sleep for like 2 years. Now I'm fine. Although sometimes I'm not fine. Like, I'm listening to Kurt Cobain nowadays. Like, yeah. So anyway, now this feeling you get after each and every segmentation of your task every day, that how technology is, how it's made, what's its purpose. You cannot define its purpose. Why? Because its purpose is your purpose. Your purpose is its own purpose. It recreated itself. We did it by our own hands. It's doing it itself now. Machine learning. But what leads me from that is that even AI can prove it. Mathematically, you cannot get cancer for putting your goddamn phone in your pocket or putting it underneath your pillow or anywhere near you. It's okay. It's fine. Those radiations are not like, they're not that harmful. They're not like like the frequencies spectrum. You go gamma waves, X-rays. Something like, it's not one of the higher levels. Okay.
But then again, many of the topics in regards to harms of technology, I wouldn't say are physical in nature, but very mental.
Mental.
Yeah, because physical in nature, I would say, you get lazy, perhaps. You're not moving a lot because you're watching TV or you're on your phone, you're on your PC. So that in a way it's unhealthy. But the biggest harm that I believe you get from technology is more mental in nature. Now, if we look at, let's say, 10, 20 years from now, okay? If we take a look, we don't know where it's gonna go, how rapidly it's gonna go, where it's gonna go.
5 years.
At
two to 3
10
years.
years is even a little too long.
Too
yeah.
long.
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah.
1
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
It takes 1 year. All right, we can say 6 months for a new phone to come out with a new feature.
But so
That's how we advance.
So we're looking at, okay, let's just look at where we're at right now, and where it's headed is like this. You see, everyone just, the world becomes a smaller place. First of
Yeah.
all, right? Instant communication, and that to me is not. It's uncomforting because false information gets out so rapid. People, like, you have these like the other day, yesterday I was watching apparently the Pentagon got cyber attacked, and they're blaming Russia for it, right? So there are all these cyber wars that are happening, right? And I just sense this feeling that if these mobile phones never existed, or it just existed to a part where we just had those old ass Nokias, and not TV screens in front of us.
Oh, you mean the one made of Thor's hammer?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that one.
From the sun, the core of the sun.
The core of the sun. I love that phone.
If we had stuck around with those, people would be more into each other than we are right now.
The thing is, like, so you're saying on the part of laying off technology and then being social?
You see, as I say it, it makes me think even further more, and I think the problem is a TV screen.
Okay, TV
'Cause
screen got replaced.
It catches our eye. It got replaced, yes, with our phones.
Not only our phones, cable is gone. YouTube, smart TV, and the thing is that bringing people together and okay. Back in the day, if anyone of your elderly family member, like your uncle, your aunt, your parents, when they talk about their friend, they get excited when they find their old classmates on Facebook. Like, holy shit, this person is on Facebook. Oh my god! And you're so distant, right? Now today, like Mark Zuckerberg, the robot or the lizard man, the lizard man. His like he created Facebook and he said it's about connecting people. Nowadays, whenever we meet someone in our in our everyday life, we kind of find out that they're linked to someone else, mutual friends or something, and somehow, even regardless of their nationality, we kind of find out like, oh, that person used to go to school with the same school as my cousin. And right now, that person's younger brother is classmates with my brother. Like, holy shit, everyone's connected. And when people come here to this place, they come in groups, friends in groups. That wasn't common back then. Why everyone's so much connected, and by the time we leave, chances are higher that we'll still be connected after that. Like, we'll get busy with our lives, but we'll still be connected. You know what social media gave us? Like, for example, Instagram stories. I'm addicted to it, okay? I'm a fucking narc in this shit. Why I do it? It's just like, I like every moment, so I just make memories, a lot of it. So it's just like, I keep track of how much, like, and it helps you to understand, like, to study myself and the system, like, oh my god, a person's emotion, everything throughout, like, years, this is how it went. This is how it went for me. How it goes in a mass number. And that's how they have all of your data based on your behavior. And of course, sorry, I'm cutting you off. With that data, there's also surveillance, but that's something else to talk about. But with that data, the AI is learning how to be a human, combined with all emotions mankind has to offer
Imagine
through it.
how much data is being collected every fucking day. It's in terabytes, bro. I mean, of course. It's
Not
in
terabytes.
Of course.
It's
Zotabytes.
zettabytes, something, and to the power of the Googleplex, it's gonna reach that. It's close to.
There was a guy earlier, and I saw on YouTube. I think he spent like 60 something years in prison, and suddenly, obviously, he knows the technology that's been going around. He watches TV, probably, back where he was inside. But to live the moment when he comes out and he's like, everybody's wearing wires attached to their ears. It seemed so awkward for him.
Yeah.
Looking at everyone just staring down everyone's just staring down to the screen, and he never understood what just happened to the social norm.
Yeah, and like that guy might have been thinking that, were they like giving me drugs in prison? Because I just came out. I'm into the future.
That guy wasn't.
The leap.
He's in Wonderland, bro. He thought that he was.
For him to take hold of that
60 years,
this new world, it's very hard, because something like that. And also, I would like to add. Do you know, like, if you take all the data of the internet, right, like the entire internet, including dark web, like the whole thing, and compress it into a shape or something, it's the size of a strawberry.
Wow.
It's the size of a strawberry. So always remember that. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys actually love this part, and we actually enjoyed talking about it.
Yes,
there was something interesting. I never thought about it. I knew it was related to eschatology, but that in depth, that was very, very interesting. The references you gave.
There's a lot to do with eschatology and technology, but yes, this is towards our end of our session for today. Glad you stuck around till now, and hope you got to learn something out of this conversation. That is. Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah.